Continental Championship Wrestling, home of the National Wrestling Alliance, featuring champions from throughout the continental United States. And now to your host, world-renowned wrestling commentator, Gordon Soley.
Well, thank you. Thank you so very, very much, and welcome once again to Continental Championship Wrestling, direct from the Boutwell Auditorium in Birmingham, Alabama. It is indeed Continental Championship Wrestling, sanctioned by the National Wrestling Alliance, and during this next hour, we're going to be seeing a U.S. Junior Heavyweight Championship match, Roy Lee Welch defending that title against the challenge of Ken Timms. And we're going to see the special challenge match, the mixed tag team match of Norvell Austin and Candy Devine against the exotic Adrian Street and Miss Linda. In addition to that, we'll see the sensational Rich brothers, Rich cousins, I might say, in action. Tommy Wildfire Rich and Johnny Rich. And in a moment, we're going to be seeing Bullet Armstrong and Brad Armstrong in action. It was last week, of course, that Ron Fuller, the Tennessee stud, possibly has ended his wrestling career. He interfered in a match when there was a six-man tag going on. He interfered in that match, and the Bullet put the figure four to him, to that already injured right leg. Let's take a look at what happened last week when the Bullet put the figure four on the Tennessee stud. 6 feet, 9 inches tall. A long, lean, mean individual, but it looks to me like...
Just kill your little piece of tape. You don't need to be showing too much of it to give these rednecks all the way from Florence, Alabama, down to the Mobile Bay. And look at the finest man who ever walked the face of this earth, rolling on the ground in the pain of an illegal hoop from Bob Armstrong. You know who I'm talking about,
That was the Bullet, my friend.
I'm talking Bob Armstrong. I have had more heartache and more pain from my family being hurt, but that man has got nothing on his mind but to break bones, and I plan to do something bad about it. That was a dark day in professional wrestling when Bob Armstrong purposely hurt the greatest manager that ever lived.
Now,
Hello, Gordon.
We're not even scheduled to wrestle here, but we're here, working out hard.
You tell him, brother.
And I'll tell you why.
Tell him.
Because something new has entered the picture now.
That's it, brother. Money.
Money, and brother, money is what makes the world go round. $10,000 is a big prize, and that's been offered to any one of the three of us that pulls the mask off of the Bullet and exposes him for who he really is, Bob Armstrong. And we're going to do that if it takes one of us, if it takes two of us, or if it takes a combination of all three of us. We will take that mask off. We will expose the Bullet for who he really is. We will rid not only this area, but professional wrestling of the Bullet, and also that snot-nosed brat of his.
That's it right there. He came out here and he just put his life on the line. He said he'd rather die 1,000 deaths than to see that punk rolling around in 1 second's agony. Bullet, you're not only losing your mask, boy, you're going to lose that punk just like I seen my cousin, just like I seen my brother rolling around. I'm going to promise you in my last day that you're going to see that punk son of yours rolling and stringing in agony. I promise it. One of us is going to be rich after this. One of us is going to be rich, and I want to be in the front of the line. I want to $10,000.
In the meantime, it looks to me like the Tennessee stud is out of action. We're going to see the Bullet and Brad in just a moment.
Ladies and gentlemen, this match is scheduled at 1 fall. It also carries a 10-minute time limit. Making the way to ringside, first of all, weighing in at 232 pounds, Corinth, Mississippi, here is Amos Moses. And ladies and gentlemen, his partner weighs in at 279 pounds, parts unknown. Here is the Executioner. And ladies and gentlemen, their opponents, the #1 tag team in the Continental area as they make their way to ringside. They weigh in at a combined weight of 448 pounds. Here is the team of Brad Armstrong and the Bullet.
There's the bell, and it is Brad Armstrong moving out against the Executioner. Brad Armstrong giving away a lot of weight here. The Executioner taking Brad Armstrong by about 40 pounds, I would think. And they lock up collar and elbow once again, and the Executioner again outpowers him. So Brad Armstrong is not going to be able to go after him head on. He's going to have to try and slip to one side, get behind his man, score his takedown in that manner if he can. As Brad Armstrong has said so many times, well, he got a side headlock after meeting him head on. So the young man has a lot of audacity to take an opportunity like that. Good leapfrog and a beautiful drop kick now by Brad Armstrong. Has the Executioner on the canvas. Another drop kick that has the Executioner down. Brad Armstrong. He is like a coiled steel spring. By the way, might mention, too, that the posters of Tommy Wildfire Rich have been going extremely well, but the sports stars out of Chicago have told me now that because of the Christmas rush and for fear that people are not going to be able to get them in time for Christmas, that they're going to be in all of the arenas beginning the first week in December with those posters. So if you want them, you'll be able to get them in that manner. Tag is made now. The Bullet moves in against the Executioner. The Bullet lets fly with a hard right hand. Catches him with one into the chest. Brad Armstrong outside the ring. The Bullet now, full arm dragon twist. Referee is Roy George. Full arm dragon twist now by the Bullet. Again, the tag is made. Brad Armstrong moves back into the ring. And the Bullet broke the hold. Being reminded by the referee to leave the inside of the ring. These matches, of course, brought to you by Continental Championship Wrestling, sanctioned by the NWA. Any replay, rebroadcast, or any charge admission charge to see or hear these matches is strictly forbidden unless you have express written authority from Continental Championship Wrestling, Southeastern Championship Wrestling, and yours truly. Double chops into the chest of the Executioner. The Executioner very quickly gets over, tags up with Amos Moses. Moses moves in, caught in a side headlock by the Bullet. And we just heard a lot of complaints about the Bullet and Brad Armstrong by one Robert Fuller, and by the Flame, and of course by Boomer H. Lynch. All right, they've got the Bullet in trouble over here, pounding away at his chest now, and it's the Bullet turning the tables now on Amos Moses and the Executioner. Tag is made. Brad Armstrong moves into the ring. Explodes with a hard right hand to the side of the head of Amos Moses. Catches him once again. Now moves up against the Executioner. And the Executioner brought into the ring by Brad Armstrong. And he's got the mask off of him. He's got the mask off the Executioner. And it's Brad Armstrong. Beautiful cross-body block, and he gets the pinfall. Brad Armstrong getting the pinfall, and so...
Ladies and gentlemen, in the time of 5 minutes and 7 seconds, the winner of the fall and the match with the team of Brad Armstrong and the Bullet.
There you have it, the official word from Mike Jackson. The victors in this match, and they got the mask, the Bullet and Brad Armstrong.
Mobile Wrestling friends, I'm Mike Jackson to tell you about a super card coming this Friday night at the Fort Whiting Armory, starting at 8 o'clock sharp. Very, very big matches. Free parking, a special announcement. The Flame, I see you're in a match with the Bullet Continental title.
Well, first of all, Bob Armstrong, you know, it's been a long time coming between you and I. I know that you're a tough competitor, but you know that I am also, and I am the champion. And it's a lot harder to beat the champion than it is to stay the champion. I'll guarantee you one thing, Bob.
One of the...
Is over with. I will still be the Continental Champion.
Another very important match is a challenge tag. Fuller and Lynch against the Bullet and Brad.
Yeah, that's right. I know for a fact that Armstrong ain't getting away with nothing. The mask is coming right off. And I'll tell you something, Brad Armstrong, and just link this right on over to your old man. He'll love it. He said he'd rather die 1,000 deaths than to see you possibly die one. Well, he better be watching this match, son, because he gonna watch your bones bust right in front of his eyes, because I'm promising it to my brother, I promise it to Jimmy Golden, and I promise it to Boomer.
Let's hear it for the challengers.
You know, they're talking about a new era of professional wrestling in Mobile. They're talking about a new starting time at 8 o'clock, a new building, Fort Whiting. Well, why not a new Continental Champion, Flame? Now, you tried everything you could to get this mask off and prove Bob Armstrong standing here. But as long as this mask is on, brother, I am the Bullet. And as far as for you, Leadfoot Robert Fuller and Rhinoceros Butt Boomer Lynch, you got two men right here that may find out what's in that shoe.
It's exactly right. You know, like you said, Leadfoot, he's got one shoe built up a little bit bigger than the other. Well, lopsided Robert Fuller and Boomer Lynch, they call him. Well, boom, boom, out go the lights, because a Latin lover and myself are going to take care of business in Fort Whiting tonight.
That's right, Robert Fuller.
That's Friday night.
Friday night in Mobile.
Mobile wrestling fans, all of that, and plus much, much more. 5 big matches, headlined by a hair dye match. That's at the Fort Whiting Armory. Free parking this Friday night at 8 p.m. Be sure and be there. Ladies and gentlemen, this very special TV match has a very special time limit. One fall, 15-minute time limit. It is for the United States Junior title. First of all, the #1 challenger, as he makes his way to ringside, 225 pounds from Hollywood, California. Here is Ken Timms. And ladies and gentlemen, making his way to the ringside area, the United States Junior Champion, the pride of Oklahoma at 214 pounds, here is Roy Lee Welch.
Roy Lee Welch getting set. There you see him, the U.S. Junior Heavyweight Champion, getting set to defend his title against the challenger Ken Timms. Now, Timms has been consistently challenging Roy Lee Welch for that title. Timms has a philosophy that, well, who knows whether it's going to be successful or not. But he has really been after Roy Lee Welch. Welch in the red trike. Timms wasting no time. Roy Lee Welch reversing the situation very quickly. Hurdles him outside the ring and follows him outside. Roy Lee Welch putting a lot of hurt on Ken Timms. Welch, second-generation wrestler, proving that if you want to play with fire, he'll fight you with fire. Roy Lee Welch has him in trouble outside the ring. I've watched his dad and his brother wrestle. High backdrop by Roy Lee Welch on Ken Timms. So Mr. Timms' challenge seems to be going for naught right now. Lateral press hooking the far leg. Timms powers out. By the way, next week, the Tommy Wildfire Rich posters will be available in all of the arenas throughout the Continental Championship Wrestling area. Timms down and in trouble, no question about that. All right. And we've got that big mixed tag team match coming up right after this match, after we let the stations make a little money. That's right. Norvell Austin and Candy Devine against Exotic Adrian Street and Miss Linda. That'll be coming up next. Right now, though, it's Roy Lee Welch looking very good against Ken Timms, U.S. Junior Heavyweight Championship at stake. Good arm whip takedown. And it seems like this little bit of bronchitis, whatever it is I've got, is hanging on. Hopefully by next week it'll be done. We'll start a dynamic December with more great wrestling stars here on Continental Championship Wrestling. Timms now trying to tear up the left arm of Roy Lee Welch. Roy George, the referee, tolling the count. Tim breaks just barely in time. Timms brings him up. Full body slam on Roy Lee Welch. Lateral press. Roy Lee powers out before the count. Roy Lee Welch jammed into that far turnbuckle. Ken Timms keeps closing in on him. Timms giving Roy Lee Welch a lot of grief. Timms, a knee to the side. Roy Lee's shoulder, those deltoids beginning to bother him. Timms in with a lateral press. Roy Lee has his foot over the rope. That'll cause the break. Roy Lee Welch, U.S. Junior Heavyweight Champion, in trouble. He's in the reddish orange trunks. Timms using that Russian leg sweep very effectively. Has Roy Lee Welch in trouble? No, sir. Roy Lee manages to get that shoulder off. Great second effort on the part of the champion. The neck breaker. And again, Timms in with a lateral press. And again, Roy Lee Welch powers out before the count. Timms complaining to the referee. Roy George telling him, no, sir. Said, I'll count him when those shoulders are down. Timms fires with a hard right hand. Armbar on Roy Lee Welch. Brings him up. Good move by Roy Lee Welch. Has him in a rolling reverse. That should be it. Nope. Timms powers out again. And it's Roy Lee Welch touching him very nicely. Beautiful high knee lift. Roy Lee Welch brings him up. Timms almost had the champion that time. Welch coming up rather slowly. Timms brings him up. Full body slam. Ken Timms up on that second ring rope. Roy Lee Welch moves to one side. Ken Timms takes the full brunt. Roy Lee Welch scores with a hard right hand. Timms catching several right hands now from Roy Lee Welch. U.S. Junior Heavyweight Champion looking good. Timms in trouble. Timms hanging onto the ropes. Roy Lee Welch sets him high. Vertical suplex. Timms again fires out before the count. The champion moves in on him. Irish whip, reversal by Timms. Good reversal now by Roy Lee Welch. Rolling reverse. He's got him this time. Got a 3 count. We've got a new champion, but I think you saw it like I did. It sure appeared to me that he was grabbing on those trunks. He may be in desperation or what have you, but he got the 3 count. The referee did not see it, and the official's call I would have to respect in this case. So we do have a new U.S. Junior Heavyweight Champion in Ken Timms. For the official word, here's our ring announcer.
Ladies and gentlemen, the time of 7 minutes and 54 seconds to fall and the match go to Ken Timms, the new United States Junior Champion.
NWA Wrestling this coming Friday night in Mobile at Fort Whiting Armory. Match time is 8 p.m. And tomorrow night in Pensacola City Auditorium. Match time is 8:15 in the Southeastern Tag Team Championship. Brad Armstrong and the Bullet against the Nightmares. The Continental title, Tommy Wildfire Rich against the Flame. In a challenge match, Johnny Rich against Robert Fuller. Norvell Austin against the exotic Adrian Street. Roberto Soto against Boomer H. Lynch. U.S. Junior title, Roy Lee Welch against Ken Timms. Tomorrow night, Pensacola.
Pensacola wrestling fans, I do want to remind you about an outstanding card here at Pensacola at the City Auditorium tomorrow night. But first of all, don't forget Friday night at the Fort Whiting Armory, free parking, big matches there. Tomorrow night, City Auditorium, 8:15 p.m. sharp. The Southeastern Tag titles in front of me on the line. The Nightmares, you've got the Bullet and you got Brad.
That's right, the Bullet, everyone knows who that is. That's Bob Armstrong. Well, let me tell you something. We are more than delighted to have you in the ring because we're going to defend these titles against you, and we're going to show you that we can beat you. We can beat anybody, and it's going to be a big week for us, isn't it, partner?
It's a big week, baby, because we're coming to Mobile, too, and you know what? We're going to dye somebody's hair, man. A different color. You want to embarrass somebody, baby? You come on and embarrass somebody. We're going to see what you look like with your hair a different color, and you, by God, nobody gets away with this. Tell them about it, baby.
Let's just hear what Brad and the Bullet's got to say about it.
You know, tomorrow night in Pensacola, Bradley, we got a fantastic opportunity because the Nightmares are thinking about Tommy and Johnny so hard that they may slip up and lose these Southeastern Tag titles. It's a perfect opportunity, and I'm going to go out on the line and say, brother, if anybody can do it, Brad and the Bullet can, right?
That's exactly right. They say to make a good tag team, you got to know your partner well. Well, I don't know anybody no better than the Bullet, brother, and we're going to take care of business tomorrow night in Pensacola.
That's right. It's going to be a battle on the bay. Pensacola tomorrow night, Nightmares. Bring the belts. We'll take them.
This tremendous night of professional wrestling, all coming to Pensacola. That's tomorrow night at the City Auditorium starting at 8:15 p.m. Don't forget to be there. And Friday night in Mobile, be there.
If you remember last week, of course, we had a situation where Norvell Austin was wrestling the exotic Adrian Street. Miss Linda came into the match and interfered, and suddenly Norvell Austin got some unexpected help. Well, let's take a look at what happened in the closing moments of that match last week. And there was Miss Linda, very obviously interfering in the match. And wait a minute. Wait a minute. Somebody else has just entered the ring. And that is very definitely... Wow. I was about to say a lady... Listen to the crowd go absolutely berserk. This crowd is going absolutely wild. And whoever this woman is, she is giving Miss Linda her comeuppance. She has exploded all over the ring. All right, so immediately following that episode, the exotic Adrian Street, along with Miss Linda, came up here and absolutely exploded about the, quote, interference. Of course, nothing was said about the fact that Miss Linda had interfered. Nonetheless, the Southeastern heavyweight champion with the pink belt then said what he wanted was a mixed tag team match. Well, that's exactly what we're going to see on this hour of Continental Championship Wrestling. Norvell Austin and a young lady by the name of Candy Devine, the young lady we saw just a few moments ago in street clothes, going up against Miss Linda and the exotic Adrian Street. So that's going to take place right now. Let's turn it over to our ring announcer for the introductions on this match.
Ladies and gentlemen, this special television match, one fall with television time remaining. It is a mixed tag match. First of all, introducing as they make their way to ringside, the team of Norvell Austin and Miss Candy Devine. opponent for this mixed tag match, the team of the exotic Adrian Street and Miss Linda.
One fall. Television time remaining. Now, I'll tell you what. We're about to see something truly fantastic here. And then coming up around the area here on Continental Championship Wrestling, that hair dye match, and that should be something. The hair dye match. The Riches against the Nightmares. Be watching for that one. All right, Candy Divine. And very, very looking young lady. Norvell Austin going up against the exotic Adrian Street and Miss Linda. Referee Roy George now telling them to one gets out, one stays in. So Candy Divine and Miss Linda get out, and it'll be Norvell Austin against the exotic Adrian Street. Street went after Candy Divine right away. Norvell Austin cut him off at the pass, however. Street blew his stack last week. I've never seen him quite as mad as he was. And made a bunch of totally erroneous comments. Okay, some quick strategy being discussed. Norvell Austin detracted him for just a moment, scored with a beautiful right hand, another hard right hand. Third right hand has Street in trouble. Fourth right hand put him down. Street tried to leave the ring. Norvell caught him in a fifth hand. He very quickly tags up, and here comes Candy Divine. And the crowd goes wild. Candy Divine, a very feminine but yet very athletic build. Miss Linda on her bicycle, moving around, and she does not appear too anxious. Candy Divine circling, and Miss Linda stays on her bicycle. Candy, by the way, for those of you who are not familiar with her, is a real close personal friend of Lady Maxine. And Lady Maxine, of course, with commitments everywhere. Well, wait a minute here. Brother, Miss Linda. Moving out a series of forearms into the chest, and there's Candy Divine powering back. And the crowd going wild as Miss Linda upended on the canvas. Single leg pickup. Brother, she knows her wrestling. She's got Candy Divine in trouble. As Adrian Street came in, Norvell Austin cut him off at the pass. Tag was made. Norvell Austin putting some hurt on exotic Adrian Street. Catches him. So things are looking good right now for Norvell Austin and Lady Maxine's friend Candy Divine. Candy Devine started to charge in there. Exotic Adrian straight after, and Norvell Austin drops him. Another hard right hand. A headbutt puts him back to the canvas. Tag was made, and now it is Candy Devine. Oh, brother. I'll tell you what, this Miss Linda's dangerous. I never realized before the height of her capabilities as an athlete. She is a ringer. She is a ringer, no question about it. She's got Candy Devine in a bit of trouble here. Again, Miss Linda. Ah, good move by Candy Devine. Candy Devine. A low projectile drop kick. She missed with that one, and Miss Linda closes in on her very quickly. Quick boot to the gluteus maximus, brings her up once again. Snapmare getting some extra illegal advantage. Tag is made. The Exotic Adrian Street trying to get a hold of Candy Devine. Norvell Austin cuts him off at the pass. Hey, what do we got going here? Crowd going wild. And the Exotic Adrian Street is really furious now. And he has opened himself up for a lot of trouble. Miss Linda back and, ooh, brother, she is tough. Punishing those quadricep femoris muscles. Candy Devine in trouble now. Miss Linda pressing her advantage. This Miss Linda is like Charles Bronson in Tough Times. She's a ringer. I'm convinced of that now. Norvell Austin is saying, come on in, man, I'm ready for you. Exotic Adrian Street going after Candy Devine again. Candy gets away. Norvell Austin catches him. Sledgehammer forearms to the back. A looping right hand that staggers him. Another looping right hand's got him hanging on the ropes. He's on the ropes, and he's got a lot of problems now. Norvell Austin winding up. Miss Linda, and they're interfering, and here comes Candy Devine. And again, the Exotic Adrian Street after Candy Devine. And we got a slugfest going now between these two. Oh, brother. Well, wait a second. Candy Devine beating a hasty retreat from the Exotic Adrian Street. Miss Linda back in the ring. All right, here comes Candy Devine now back into the ring. Goes back to her corner. And there's Miss Linda getting in a cheap shot. Again, the Exotic Adrian Street going after Candy Devine. Norvell Austin in trouble now. Referee thrown to one side, and again, Candy Devine beats a hasty retreat now. Norvell Austin scoring effectively. Miss Linda moving, no, let's see, yet. Miss Linda moving back into the ring. That means it'll be Candy Devine and Miss Linda once again. Mixed tag team match as a result of a special challenge by the exotic Adrian Street. And it's Candy Devine, a couple of hard right hands into the solar plexus. Snapmare by Miss Linda. Candy Devine. Series of hard forearms. Into the chest and catches her coming off the ropes. She might have a pinfall combination working here. Tag was made. Norvell Austin in there. Candy Devine in trouble. Oh, did you see that? Norvell Austin has Miss Linda, but look at Street has Candy Devine. Street bringing Candy Devine up. Oh! A pile driver. Oh, brother. Well, I have just lost whatever respect I had for the exotic Adrian Street. I have just lost it. I suppose it falls within the legal parameters. For the word, however, let's turn it over. We've got a hurt young lady here. We have an injured young lady in Candy Devine. For the word, let's turn it over to our ring announcer, Mike Jackson.
Pensacola, Florida, the City Auditorium, 8:15 p.m. sharp starting time. Two very special events, the exotic Adrian Street.
And I suppose all his fans will be there, chewing tobacco, spitting, black teeth, tobacco swilling beer, and some of the men are just as bad.
And I see, Boomer H, you're back.
I come all the way from South Africa, and they put me against a Puerto Rican. I don't want to go to Puerto Rico. I came here to wrestle Americans.
Let's hear from the challengers.
Timms, you've got my title now, son, but that's just temporary. I'm going to win the title back, and what better place than the place I call my home now, Pensacola, tomorrow night.
Boomer Lynch, tomorrow in Pensacola, the Puerto Rican is coming after you, so you better be ready for me. I'll be ready for you.
Yes, sir. You got on fine clothes, there's snake skin all over. And I'm coming to Pensacola and take care of you, Adrian Street.
TV time next Saturday, don't forget, is 12:30 at night. Also, don't forget Mobile, Friday night, 8 o'clock at the Fort Whiting Armory, and be there tomorrow night in Pensacola for a bang-up.
Match, one fall with a 10-minute time limit. It is tag team action. First of all, in the ring, weighing in at 223 pounds, from Texas, here is Pablo Crenshaw. And ladies and gentlemen, his partner weighs in at 221 pounds from Atlanta, Georgia. Would you welcome Mike Nichols? And ladies and gentlemen, their opponent making their way to ringside, one of the top-rated tag teams in the world, at a combined weight of 446 pounds. Here are Tommy Wildfire Rich and Johnny Crash Rich. One fall, 10-minute time limit. Your referee, Roy George.
Roy George, the referee, one fall, 10-minute time limit. Roy George, one of the most conscientious officials I've ever seen. Nichols and Crenshaw going up against Tommy and Johnny Rich. Pablo Crenshaw. And that's Johnny Rich against him right now. And so the Tennessee Stud is back in action, as we've seen. By the way, speaking of Tommy and Johnny Rich, you know, for the past several weeks we've been talking about those Tommy Rich posters. Well, they have been going so well, and the orders have been coming in so fast, there is some worry as to whether or not they'd all be able to get out in time for Christmas. So, not to worry about that. Starting the first week in December, they are going to become available in the arenas and auditoriums around the country. So they will be on sale at the arenas and auditoriums around the country starting the first week in December. So if you haven't ordered yours yet, you'll be able to get them. You'll be able to get them in the arenas and auditoriums throughout the month of December. Crenshaw putting some hurt on Johnny Rich. Beautiful lateral drop and takedown head scissors. Johnny Rich powers out. Side headlock. Tag is made. Mike Nichols moves out. Good reversal by Johnny Rich. Quick takedown. Ah, look at the way Nichols very quickly went to his stomach. This man's had a lot of amateur background. Side headlock, and then Johnny and Tommy Rich. A little bit of double teaming there. Can't say that I blame them. Good drop kick by Tommy Rich. And I see the Nightmares have rejoined me.
That's right. You know, we just got one thing we want to say to everybody out there, and we know you'll love it, too, when everybody sees Johnny and Tommy Rich's hair colored different colors.
That's right. We're going to color Johnny Rich's hair orange, and we're going to color Tommy Rich's hair red and whip him like a red-headed stepchild.
So they want to talk about humiliation, baby. Let's see how they look leaving the arena with that hair colored different.
Are you talking to me about a hair dye match?
That's what we're talking about, baby, and all the people's going to see them walk out with different colored hair.
The ropes now. Nichols catches one right at the belt line by Tommy Wildfire Rich. Rich with a nice high knee lift. Roy George, the referee, watching him carefully. There's our on-site cameraman. Johnny and Tommy Rich catching him now. Nichols in trouble. Got the pinfall. He got the pinfall. And so, for the official word, here's our ring announcer.
In the official time of 5 minutes and 31 seconds to fall and the match. Go to the Riches, Johnny and Tommy.
NWA Wrestling this coming Friday night in Mobile, Alabama. Fort Whiting Armory. Match time is 8 p.m. There will be free parking. In a non-sanctioned hair dye match, Tommy and Johnny Rich against the Nightmares. The Continental title, the Bullet against the Flame. In the challenge tag, Brad Armstrong and Roberto Soto against Robert Fuller and Boomer H. Lynch. Southeastern title, Norvell Austin against the exotic Adrian Street. U.S. Junior Heavyweight Championship, Roy Lee Welch against Ken Timms. Remember, that's Friday night in Mobile.
Wrestling fans in the Mobile, Alabama area, Fort Whiting Armory is the place. Friday night, 8 o'clock sharp. That's this Friday night. We have free parking. Don't forget that. The Nightmares are in one of the most special matches ever held, a hair dye match.
That's right, baby. You said it. You know what? I want to make everything perfectly clear because after we beat the Riches right there, we want everybody in Mobile to see. They're going to be able to witness just as soon as we beat them. We're going to be able to color their hair right there in the ring, baby. And you know what? Tommy Rich, that old blonde hair of yours, we're going to take, we might paint your old blonde hair red. And Johnny Rich, we just might spray your hair orange or something because we want to make you look just as ridiculous as you made us look when you beat us for our mask. You did something no other team has ever been able to do, and, brother, we're going to humiliate you, and it's going to happen right there after the match. The very same night, we're going to embarrass you just like you did us.
Here, let's hear what the Riches have to say about the whole thing.
Them nightmares look awful funny with them masks off their face, you know, but they're gonna look they're gonna look really funny when they walk out of there with purple hair and then a star on their face. You know,
somebody say something about Fort Walton Beach. It could be called.
Or Whiting.
just like Johnny Cougar singing, man. Little pink houses. We may bring some pink spray paint right there.
Pink,
be ready because it's gonna be a heck of a
Friday night.
Don't forget that special hair dye match this Friday night in Mobile, Alabama at the Fort Whiting Armory. Friday night will start at 8 p.m. Don't forget that. Don't forget tomorrow night in Pensacola.
Well, next week, of course, marks the beginning of the last month of 1985, but I can assure you of one thing. It's going to be a dynamic December here on Continental Championship Wrestling, sanctioned by the National Wrestling Alliance. We're going to be seeing a host of new stars crossing your paths here on Continental TV Championship Wrestling. And I might also point out that, well, we'll bring you more information about that dream match. We'll see what's going on in regards to the exotic Adrian Street, and we hope to bring you a physical report or a doctor's report as to the condition of the Tennessee Stud. Reliable sources inform me, however, that the Tennessee Stud may have had it. That may have been the end of his career. And if that's the case, all I can say is that Robert Fuller, Jimmy Golden, if and when he returns, Boomer H. Lynch, and the Flame are going to be looking for that other trio. Till next week, then, Gordon Soley saying so long.